Welcome back to We Lead Anyway. I'm Noelle, Senior Leader, Career Coach, and your host. My daughter and her husband came to visit my partner and I a few weeks ago. And she said, Mommy, you got to watch Love Island. And I said, Do I? I did. I did. All 38 episodes. And then I worked backwards from the most recent season and watched the rest. Love Island, a, a villa, beautiful lighting, everyone dressed like they're about to be judged because they are about to be judged. Okay. A group of strangers thrown into a house together, told to just be yourself while secretly competing for very limited spots, being evaluated every single day and never quite sure who is about to be sent home. Is this Love Island? It feels oddly familiar. Let's start with the villa itself. It feels like the job search, actually. Okay. You walk in, you don't know the other people that you're up against. You don't know how many spots are actually open. Nobody tells you the real rules. You just have to figure them out by watching how everybody else gets treated. Every recruiter call is a first date in the villa. You are both selling it. Okay, you are on your best behavior. You are a version of yourself that's true, but polished. They're deciding if they want to couple up with you for the next round, and you're deciding if you even want to be here. Except you can't say that out loud because you need the job. You want the $100,000 at the end of all of this. Then the dreaded recoupling ceremony. I mean, the dreaded interview panel. Everyone's standing in a line, and somebody in a room that you can't see is deciding who stays and who gets sent packing based on 30 minutes of a conversation and a vibe. There's a key difference because in the corporate job search, you can make it through 4 rounds, feel a genuine connection with the hiring manager and the team, and then just get ghosted. No text, no email, nothing. At least on Love Island, when someone gets dumped from the villa, they usually get a reason. They know that there wasn't a connection, or maybe people feel like they weren't there for the right reasons. Islanders at least get an exit interview on camera. The corporate world could take a few things from Love Island. Not the dress code, though. Whole new meeting to Casual Friday. Okay, so let's say you're in, you're coupled up, you get the job. The first weeks, man, you are in the honeymoon phase. Okay, everyone is nice. Your manager checks in constantly. You get invited to lunch. It's giving early villa energy. Everyone's on their best behavior because nobody's tested yet. The guys are making you breakfast still. You're still putting on your makeup every single morning. And then 6 weeks happens. The recoupling twist. The reorg gets announced. A new VP comes in. Priorities shift overnight. And suddenly the person that you thought you were coupled up with for the long haul is now eyeing someone else's project. Or worse, they're eyeing your role. Nothing in corporate is as stable as it looks in week one, just like nothing in the villa is as stable as it looks on day one. The couples that actually make it are the ones who handle the shakeup without falling apart, just like your career. The people who thrive aren't the ones who never get tested. They're the ones who know how to recover fast when the format changes on them. Now, on the show, they get thrown into these ridiculous physical or social challenges with zero warning. And how they perform in front of everyone becomes the thing that people talk about for days. Okay. To me, it feels very close to performance review season. And here's the thing about those challenges. Half of the outcome has nothing to do with actual skill. It's about how you're perceived in the room. Confidence reads as competence. Whether or not it's backed up is a completely different story. But did you get people to notice you? Did you twerk all the way down the slide of slime? I talk to leaders all the time who did excellent work all year round and got passed over because they kept to themselves. While somebody who talked a big game in every meeting had that visibility got the promotion. It stings, probably. But once you understand the challenge is partly a performance and not purely a meritocracy, you stop being blindsided by it. You always learn something in those challenges, don't you? Good, bad, or indifferent, something always comes out that you can carry with you to do differently for the next time. All right. So let's talk about the only place on this show where people say what they actually think without being performative, without being strategic, just the truth straight to the camera, away from everyone else in the villa. The beach hut. Yeah, honey. You need a beach hut in your career. You need one person or a small handful of people where you can just say the unfiltered thing. I don't trust this reorg. I think I'm being managed out. I don't even know if I want this promotion. You can't say all that in the team's group chat. You need somewhere to say it out loud so you don't feel isolated or alone on an island by yourself. Let it be a closed BRG, a leader or a mentor that you trust. I have a friend outside of the company who has zero stake in the politics. Find your beach hut. It changes everything about how you handle the pressure of the rest of it. Last thing, you know, I've recently found myself feeling like an islander who chose to leave. I didn't get dumped. I just looked around and realized this villa, this format, these people, it's not for me anymore. And I want you to know that it takes more guts than staying does. When you see there's nothing more to explore, that this place is no longer a match for you, you really should pack your bags, take your happy little 30 minutes, and get the hell out, okay? After this past year, I'll tell you, you don't need a dramatic recoupling ceremony to leave. You don't need a villain edit or a big confessional moment. You're allowed to just decide this isn't for me anymore. So here's what Love Island helped me see about my journey over the past 6 months. The villa is dramatic because the stakes are manufactured to be dramatic. Your career doesn't have to run on the same manufactured pressure. You can slow it down. You can find your beach hut. You can walk when it's time on your own terms instead of waiting to get eliminated. Will corporate life always feel a little bit like a reality show? Yeah, with less flattering lighting, though. All this talk about Love Island is making me want pancakes. So if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, email me at noelleleadsanyway@gmail.com. And if you're interested in personal or professional development, please visit leadwithnoelle.com. And until then, go take up space.